story of her beloved character, Ragaz. Adriana, please welcome to the podium.
As Amy said, this is my Project 10, Inspire Your Audience. As she also said, this speech is a little bit unconventional, so I'm giving it its own introduction. This speech is intended to be inspiring in two different ways. One, it is entirely fictitious and written by me, so perhaps it'll inspire you to write your own stories. Two, this is how my Dungeons & Dragons character tells his story and how he inspires others to join his cause. Imagine, if you will, there was an attack on your village. You were rescued. You're sitting around a campfire, your wounds have been tended to, perhaps you've been given a flag and a veil. You are approached by one of your rescuers. He introduces himself and proceeds to tell his story. The name's Ragaz, but you can call me Bad Ragaz. As you can see, I'm a half-orc. Most of my traits come from my orcish mother. My green skin, my ability to see in the dark, my formidable height, my indomitable strength, my impeccable might on the battlefield. My natural charm and stunning good looks come from my human father. Mother chose him for his gorgeous singing voice, which I too possess. With my axe and my drum, I am a mighty warrior with the ability to sing his own tales as good as any traveling musician. And let me tell you, I have many wondrous tales to tell, but today I will tell my own. I, Bad Ragaz, am the last of my clan. The Wazbag clan was mighty, and we were feared. When our war drums and horns sounded, villages and outposts knew nothing but terror, for when they heard them, they knew the Wazbag orcs were coming to quench the soil with their blood. Violence was our profession, and it paid well. The Wazbag clan thrived. We had become fat on the surrounding lands. We no longer traveled as our numbers were too great. We instead established an encampment in the mountains. We sent out raiding parties, leaving little force to guard what had become our home. The only guards were left to see to our aged King Wazon and his family. Back in my days with the clan, I was young. I was not yet old enough to wield an axe, to go out on raiding parties or be a guard. But I was taught the ways of the Wazbag orcs. I could swing an axe, I could sing our songs as well as any young orc. My mother told me that one day I would be as skilled a warrior as King Wazon himself and ensure his legends and songs echoed through the world forever. I wish I had been older. I wish I had been given an axe. I wish I could have protected them. For one bloody evening, we were attacked. The Wazbag clan was struck unawares by the Torhalian raiders who teleported into our camp under the cover of darkness. I woke to the first horn blast. The guards had spotted the raiders and were attempting to alert the camp to danger, but even then, it was too late. Too many raiding parties were gone, and the camp was nothing but old folks, mothers, and children. The raiders slit throats and set tents ablaze. There was barely a fight to be had. The guards used their magic sending stones to call back the raiding parties, to tell them, "Come back, defend your families, defend your king, defend your home." The raiders instead turned their swords to the returning raiding parties. One by one, they were picked off as we stood, helpless, weaponless, and waiting to die. I was distraught. I needed a weapon. I needed to fight. My mother decided she would have none of it. She got down on her knees and grabbed my shoulders. The flaming camp around her accentuating the tears as they rolled down her face, the sounds of battle providing a percussive beat behind her words. She said, "Ragaz, do not fight this battle, for this battle is lost. They will kill every last one of us, no matter how hard you fight, no matter how far you run. Instead, you must hide. After the din of battle recedes, you must escape. And when you escape, you must remember this day. Learn from it and use it to fuel you. Most importantly, you must take this drum. Sing the songs of our people. Sing the songs of the Wazbag clan so that we may never be forgotten." I did as I was told. She sealed me and my drum in a supply barrel. battle raged on around me. My mother was killed. The king was killed. The Wasbeg clan had fallen. I know the lesson my mother wanted me to learn. I see the irony in that day. The greatest orc raiding clan taken out by human raiders from a city. Given the chance, we would have done the very same to them without even batting an eye. I see the error in our ways, the compassion we lacked. But that doesn't matter. We were still slaughtered, and I will never forgive Torhall for that. The sun rose, the battle ceased. When the blood of my brethren had dried on the rocks, the Torhall raiders began taking anything of value from the wreckage of my home. They brought my unsuspecting barrel back into their city as a part of their plunder. I was not discovered. I was brought into the city, but I was trapped in a barrel. Fortunately, I was not alone in the barrel, for before it contained a young half-orc, it was filled with pickled fruits. I want to say that my barrel buddies saved me, for a magic fruit is fitting for a tale such as this one, but alas, I needed rescue. I prayed to all the gods, begging for a savior, and one night my prayers were answered. Through my tiny peephole, I saw her. A cloaked woman appeared. She began looking through the cache of supplies that were stolen from my family. She stopped, and she looked right at me. She approached my barrel. This beautiful elven woman, this elven angel, she crouched next to my barrel and whispered, "Come with me. Join my clan of the clanless. Bring glory to yourself and death to the Torhall dictatorship." Then, with nothing but a wave of her hand, she opened the barrel my mother had nailed shut. I must have been quite the sight. Half pickled, I stood and brushed myself off as best as I could. She smiled at me as I carefully stepped out of the barrel. I was ready to leave, but then I remembered my drum, my mother's drum, the last drum for the last Wasbeg orc. I found it in the remaining fruits, and I slung it across my back. The elven woman nodded, and she beckoned me forward. We climbed into the sewers and made our way to her base, my new home. I learned later that my rescuer was none other than Nirba, the one and only, the leader of the Torhall resistance, the only hope for refugees whose homes have been decimated by the Torhall raiders. I've been fighting for the resistance ever since, singing the songs of the Wasbeg clan, bringing their mighty violence, their revenge to the Torhall forces. But this is my new home, my new clan. I sing our new songs as well. I will fight for them as I was unable to fight for my family. I will save those who have had their homes ripped from them as I have. Soon, we will overthrow the Torhall government and make this place a safe haven for us all. But until then, we must fight. We must fight for those we love. We must fight for what is right and just in this world. We must fight to leave legends that would make our ancestors proud. Who's with me?